Alright everyone, we are back in Project Ozone 3, where we started yesterday, and we've been doing quite a lot of fun things, and let's continue today. Yesterday we basically just built a small island and just kind of checked over the better questing menu, and if we click on quests we can go here again and check the Alpha tab, where we can see what we can do next. So a few things they expect us to do is to get cobblestone, and it's also expecting us to go to another dimension called the hunting dimension, where as far as I'm aware we could find some some mobs, like a lot of mobs spawning or something, I don't know. I think that's kind of what it does. And there's also a mob forming quest, which probably comes along with this. So it asks us to probably, to just kill different types of mobs, and then we give you a reward, and we are even expected to kill an ancient golem. Okay, that looks scary. Wait a second, which mod is the ancient golem? I'm having a suspicion, I hope I'm wrong. Okay, no, it's embers. Okay. I was kind of expecting it to be the Minecraft mod, which is like a very, very heavy magic mod, but I'm pretty sure it's not in here. Yeah, okay. It's not in there. So let's take a look at all this. Next quest we could do would be either water to clay, which expects us to make a cauldron. We could do the right-clicking quest, which expects us to do cobblestone, and we can do the silk quest to get string, which actually I think would be like the most reasonable one. So what we have to do for that one is basically we just need a tree, which we already got here, and then we put a silkworm into the tree, and we basically just wait for the leaves to get infested, and while that is happening, we're just gonna expand our island a bit. So yeah, that's kind of what we're gonna do. So let's just place a few planks. And while we're doing this, let me just explain a bit more about the project, I would suppose. So Project Ozone 3, as I already kind of started to explain in the last episode, is a mod pack created by TheCazadorSniper, and it has 4 different modes, which are of different difficulty, basically. And it's basically, if you play it on Kappa Mode, it's basically a so-called expert mod pack. What is a so-called expert mod pack? An expert mod pack basically requires you to combine a lot of items from different mods to even do the basic things in other mods. So let me give you like a simple example. Well, actually I don't know which mods we have in here, so it's kind of hard to give an example. So just imagine you have a machine from like a mod, you know, and you love to play with. And that machine is kind of like a very good machine already. Like there are mods which have definitely a lot faster machines than others. And in the expert mod pack, normally it will require you to play through a mod which has a bit simpler machines. But for example, first to even be able to unlock the more powerful machines from other mods. So let me just, is there a mechanism in here? Yeah, there's mechanism in here. Okay, so let's just take mechanism as an example. I think you need like a machine, that's steel casing, and you can kind of see the steel casing from mechanism requires a machine frame from thermal expansion, so from a completely other mod, as well as dark steel ingots from the NDI mod and transistors from the MinecraftMods mod. So it requires us to do a lot of more complex steps to actually go to these machines, even though these machines are basically also just simple machines offering like smelting functions, like a furnace, for example. So basically what it does is just locking a whole mod, which normally would have very easy recipes, behind basically playing through the, like for at least half of another mod, I would say. Okay, we can go there and make another crook, I think. Okay. Let's just do that, and then we can mine those leaves which haven't infected, and then we get a lot of string from them. Let me just break the wood. So there we go. And now we can go into the crafting table and use the string to make a string mesh. So let's just do that. And that was stupid. I'm just realizing it's getting night. We should have probably made a bed, right? Can we just make a bed? I'm pretty sure. Oh, I tapped out of the game. There we go. Can we make a bed? Actually, I'm not sure about that. Oh, is there like anything nice we could eat? Because like we would definitely need something eatable. We could make a can of food, but for that we would need tin, so we can't really do that right now. we can make an apple sapling. I think that's like the most reasonable thing. We can just save it by clicking A while hovering over an item, and then it's like saved on the left. And we could, in theory, even trade random act of kindness for, to get the apple sapling. That's kind of cool. Alright, I would say we're just gonna infect another sapling. And while that, we're just gonna expand the island a bit more. And as soon as that one is done, we're just gonna go there and make a bat and make a few saves with the string we just obtained. So let's just do that. Let's get the slabs. And let's just start building a bit. So yeah. I'm also kind of trying to keep these episodes a bit smaller, like probably between 9 or 10 to 15 minutes. Some of them might also be a bit longer, but I'm kind of trying to do daily uploads since the channel has been inactive for quite a long time, and it's always been a dream of mine to actually have a channel and to actually work on growing a channel. And I feel like I need to get somewhat of a constant uploading schedule. And I feel like it kind of helps me to just go with daily uploads, I feel like. I would say it's kind of cool for you guys, since you can just watch like 2 or 3 episodes if you want to. And you basically get the same as if you just watch one. But if you're like watching this when the episodes are still getting uploaded, you don't have to wait a week for a new episode to be uploaded, you know? Like, if I would only do weekly uploads, you would have to wait for a longer time. Alright, okay, this is grown. We can also make a bit more width so that we can make a few more sticks so that we can get to the crafting station. And let me just do that. There we go. And let's just get the string. Okay, we get a lot more string in this one, I feel like, since it's like a bigger tree, which we made. That's kind of cool. So I can definitely tell you that we are going to need a lot of string for Steve, since if I remember correctly, when I like played this pack for like a little bit, like I did play like for an hour or something once before, and if I remember, we are able to make like very big sieves in this one, which all require silk mesh, which requires string. So we're definitely gonna need a lot of that. Okay, let me just make a bat first though. So we're just gonna get the wood and hope that the recipe is at least the normal one we would expect it to be. And then we can just go there and yeah, make some more silk mesh, I would say. I'm also currently trying to record this in a bit of a high resolution, so when like doing some editing so that you guys can see it, it should in theory look a bit cleaner, though I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on that, since doing it on high resolution definitely drops my FPS by quite a bit. Okay, we can claim the silk quest and we get 5 more random act of kindness. And honestly, we don't even really need to think about getting like a big food source, since we already got 15 random act of kindness. And if I remember correctly, we only need 64 to basically get infinite saturation. So yeah, I don't know what happens if we die, but I think it doesn't get lost. I hope it does not. Either way though, we are gonna go there and check out what we need to do for the sieve, and I think we just need a lot of wood for that. I think we can go there and just place down a lot of saplings and then just mine all of them at once. I think that should work to get a lot of wood. So there we go. Alright. Yeah, that worked. Alright, okay. I think we will still need a lot more wood though, so let me just collect a bit more. And if you got any suggestions for the future of the series, just write in the commentary section. I would love to hear about them, and it would be kind of cool. And yeah, let me just know what to improve and what you like, what you don't like. And if you have any ideas on how we can progress a bit better in this mod pack, since I do have a lot of knowledge in playing mod packs, but I definitely don't know everything, so you might know some things I don't. So if you do, just tell me about them. would be great to know about them in the commentary section, and yeah. So let me just eat a few apples so that we can grow the tree. And part of me still wants to just use the crook on it real quick so that we get a few more apples. Though it's not really that efficient. But I feel like we shouldn't really invest that much time into actually finding a good food source, as I said. Since we basically not need a food source anymore quite soon, I hope. Things that I don't really know how fast we can... Like, the quests are probably getting a bit more complicated over time, so it might take a bit long to get the random of kindness. But yeah, it's gonna be alright. I'm actually quite curious about let me find it, the flight totem as well. But that one is definitely a lot more expensive, so we're definitely gonna have to wait for that. I would also love to make the night vision one, but I think we're just gonna go with flight after the saturation one. If you have any other idea of what we should do with the random act of kindness first, just write it into the comment section, and yeah, I'm just gonna take a look at it then. Yeah, okay. So that was not so smart because I didn't use a crook. And now we can just go there and break the wood. There we go. And I think that should be enough for now. So let me just make a bunch of planks, and it really hurts to do like that. I think there are more efficient ways over time, like using a sawmill and just throwing it in there. But that's not something you can do right now, at least from what I know, so we're gonna have to deal with that for now. Alright, okay, let's make some more slabs so that we can use them to make a sieve. And I think we also need a bunch of sticks, so let's just turn those into sticks. There we go. And then we can make 20 sieves, and we can actually make a lot more. Let me just make a few more sticks. And there we go. And we could repeat that even more often, but we don't really have much more silk mesh. So we can just go with what we have for now, I think. Let's just place the bed here and go to sleep, so that it's getting the next day. And after that, we can just go there and place down the sieves. We actually need a lot more space on our island though. Is there like a builder's wand or something, which we can use to make building a bit easier? This? Aye, okay. Can we... So in some mod packs, you can like shift right click on dirt to get stone pebbles. And I think, yeah, okay, it's the same here. Shift right click grass dirt to obtain pebbles, then craft into cobblestone. So we can just do that. And then we can combine them to get cobblestone. And then we can go there and take the sticks and I think like this, yeah, okay. And then we get a builder's wand. There we go. And if we now craft a bit more of our wood into planks, we can just go there and go to the side of here and just use the builder's wand to extend our island a lot faster by placing multiple blocks at once, even though it's like the very basic one, so it's a lot slower than it could be. But it's alright. It's definitely faster than just doing it by hand. So we can just do that. So let's just expand the island a bit. Since this is gonna be quite a big big area we need for the sieve. Actually, let me check. It should probably say something about it. Yeah, there you go. You can place an 8x8, so you can do a stack at once. So you can have 64 sieves, which is actually quite amazing. But it also kind of tells us that we're going to need a lot of resources. So what you do with the sieves, for those who don't know, you can basically use them to obtain resources like iron and other stuff. So yeah. What I'm going to try for now real quick is I'm going to make a furnace so that we can make a bit of charcoal. So that we don't have to worry about mobs spawning. So I'm pretty sure there's not going to... Yeah, there's no normal furnace. I think, if I remember correctly, not even remember, like, just going from what I know from other mod packs, so we probably need, we need compressed cobblestone, then we can make a furnace. So that's also one thing that happens in next prototype mod pack. And we're just gonna do this here. There we go. I can also already see that this episode is definitely gonna be a bit longer than the first one. I'm really not sure how long I'm gonna do most of them, but I'm probably just gonna do it depending on how long the thing we're trying to do in the episode is gonna take. So the goal for today is just kind of to get the sieve. And yeah. So let's craft the cobblestone pebbles into cobblestone, and let's make some compressed cobblestone out of that, and we still don't have enough, so let's make a bit more. Alright, there we go. Pretty sure that's still not enough. No, shouldn't be. But that should be enough. So let me just do that. There we go. There we go. Exactly how much we need. And there we go for furnace. And I'm pretty sure that... Okay, it's not even a quest. I thought it was a quest. We can also get the random act of kindness from the thieving quest. So let's take that. And we're actually getting a few more string meshes. I didn't realize. So... I'm just gonna place it for now, and we're just gonna probably just gonna place a few more trees to get a bit more wood. Not sure if I can. Okay, I can. That works. And then we can just go over and make some charcoal. So let's just wait for that, and also while you're doing that, we can place down a few more safes. And probably also expand the island in this direction, so we have enough space to actually make the 8x8 sieve. Or at least something coming close to that. The more I think about it, we should probably move the sieves over to the left, since we already have a bit more space there. So you're just putting it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And we basically just need to place a bunch of sieves over this whole area. And we'll definitely need a few more. So let me just get a few more trees and also an apple. And we're just gonna mine it down, and in a second we should be able to make enough sieves for whatever we need, or like to complete the 8x8 sieve. Pretty better way to say it. There you go. I'm not sure how much wood we need for that, but yeah, let's just try. So let's just serve our sieve, and let's just make some more planks. There we go, and let's just make a few sticks. There we go. 12 more safes, and we can just place them down, then we can check how many more we need. Okay, we need 7, 14, 15, 16 probably. So we're just gonna do that. There we go. And let's just do another bunch of trees. There we go. And let's do the third time, and then we should be alright. Okay, let's take the wood and craft into planks, and let's make a few more sticks. Let me just make that amount. That should be alright. And probably we're missing slabs, so let me just make some of those. And now we have 14. That should be alright. Actually, no. I'm miscalculating. We need 2 more, I think. Yeah, there we go. So let's just make 2 more. We're probably missing sticks. We can just make a bunch more. And now we get the big 8x8 sieve. We don't really have enough silk mesh for that, but it should be alright for now. I definitely also don't want this episode to go that much longer. I'll definitely have to think about, like, if I want to make them a bit longer. If you have any ideas about that, just write them into the comment section. And yeah, I'm gonna give you a quick explanation before we end this episode. So what this sieve basically does is it allows us to take gravel, which we can make. The way how we create gravel, I'm going to show you in the next episode. Though, what we can basically do is we can create gravel and we can put it into here. The same goes for sand and dust. And if we do that, we're going to get chunks of like iron ore, and we can get redstone and diamonds and all of that kind of stuff. And having bigger sieve, that also increases our chance to get all of those things. And then we can put all of that into chests and burn them in the furnace and get our resources. So with that being said, we're going to end this episode, and we're going to see us again tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode. And if you've got anything to improve or anything, just tell me in the comment section. And yeah, bye bye.